Whitney Webb is back with sharp new posts on X, calling out two explosive stories. First, she highlights how the U.S. government is handling the arrest of an Israeli citizen tied to sex crime charges, raising questions about immunity and accountability. Then, she takes aim at Attorney General Pamela Bondi for labeling a bizarre Subway sandwich assault case as proof of the so-called deep state.
We're coming after you. We've made that very clear. And that guy worked for the Department of Justice. Unbelievable. He came into our office every day, walked by law enforcement officers, worked in the criminal division. That's the deep state that we have been up against.
These posts show Webb pulling no punches on corruption, political theater, and the erosion of meaning in America's most powerful institutions. In this X post, Whitney Webb is responding to a statement from the U.S. State Department. They acknowledged that Tom Artyom Alexandrovich, an Israeli citizen, was arrested in Las Vegas for soliciting sex electronically from a minor. They emphasized he did not claim diplomatic immunity, was released by a state judge pending a court date, and denied that the U.S. government intervened.
Controversy this afternoon and evening about an Israeli government official who left the country after an arrest for a sex crime. We thank you for joining us at 6. I'm Brian Loftus.
And I'm Denise Valdez. As 8 News Now investigator Kyle Payne tells us state law allowed him to pay his bail before ever seeing a judge.
An Israeli official reportedly back in Israel after being arrested here in southern Nevada on a sex crime. The question, not so much how did he get out of the country, as how did he get out of jail to begin with? Acting United States Attorney Sigal Chattah taking to social media Monday night, saying, quote, a liberal district attorney and state court judge in Nevada failed to require an alleged child molester to surrender his passport, which allowed him to flee our country. In fact, that Israeli official, Tom Alexandrovich, who is upper management with the Israel National Cyber Directorate, in town for a cybersecurity conference, where police say he chatted online with a decoy who posed as a 15-year-old girl and never saw a judge, which, if you get arrested in or around Las Vegas, is business as usual.
Whitney Webb responds, the U.S. government declines to prosecute someone affiliated with Israel's government from sex crimes? I feel like this may have happened before. In another X post, Whitney Webb reacts to Attorney General Pamela Bondi's comments about a man charged with felony assault after hitting a federal agent with a Subway sandwich. Bondi said this case was proof of the deep state working against her administration.
I do want to get you to a developing story that we have been following, as a Justice Department employee has been fired and charged with a felony after investigators say they identified him as the man seen in this video throwing a Subway sandwich at a federal officer. The footage obtained by our Fox 5 DC station shows the incident earlier this week during a confrontation in downtown Washington, D.C. Court documents allege the man is now former DOJ employee Sean Dunn, and that he yelled profanities at a U.S. Customs and Border Protection agent before hurling that sandwich right at him and then, as you can see, taking off running. Attorney General Pam Bondi posted about this earlier on today here on social media.
Whitney Webb responds, behold the Subway sandwich-wielding deep state. That term meant to refer to the invisible hand that makes Democrats and Republicans alike support the same unpopular wars abroad and policies regardless of who is in the White House, has been so overused that now it essentially means someone in government or out that the current government doesn't like or is mad at. With these posts, Whitney Webb shines a light on how power protects itself and how language is twisted to fit political agendas.
First off, I did want to ask you overall about this situation in general, because we are talking about felony assault. How exactly does that differ from maybe simple assault, and does a sandwich meet the criteria of any of that?
Josh, you're spot on. This is not felony assault. Felony requires some sort of weapon, usually a deadly weapon, or substantial bodily injury. And throwing a Subway sandwich at someone may be assault, but it's simple assault. It's a misdemeanor under 111 United States Code. Again, it's something that's a wobbler for folks who practice criminal law, which means it can be charged as a misdemeanor or a felony. So I understand what Pam Bondi's doing. She's trying to protect federal law enforcement officers, but no judge in this country on either side of the political aisle, regardless of who appointed them, is going to move forward with a felony assault trial here. This will be a misdemeanor, and it will be for a magistrate, which is a lower judge in federal court.
To dive deeper into stories like these, Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and follow for more of Webb's hard-hitting breakdowns.